How did you meet your fiance? Because
Oh
I know
my
everyone
God.
is curious about your relationship.
I'm the type of woman I go after what I want. I'm not the type that's like, no, he gonna come get me. No, if you see something, go get it. If you like it. I remember it like it was yesterday, February 23rd, 2023. I just finished an episode of Breakfast Club. Went down to Baltimore, me, my sister, and my friend. We went to get some crabs. I sit down, I'm drinking. He comes in and he joins another party at the end of the bar. And I'm looking, I'm like, ooh. I was blushing already. I was like, yeah, he mine. He don't even know. So I offered to buy a round of drinks. And this is also in the book
so
as
you
well.
chose him.
Excuse me? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, ladies, y'all got to start choosing men that y'all want. Like,
a lot of women feel like they have to be courted, but no, he still courted me. I just courted him first, So now we even because he popped the question, he married me, and boom. But so I offered to buy a round of drinks, right? Shots for him. He didn't drink. He was like, no, I don't drink. I'm good. So I'm like, I got apples. He like, yo, I'm good. What you trying to do? You know what I'm saying?
You trying to get him lit.
You know what I'm saying? I sure was. I was having a fun time. I was happy. I was up for the position at Breakfast Club. And so I was just celebrating.
Right.
And so you don't know how drunk you are until you get up
and
you get a little woozy. I'm like, shit, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I asked my sister, I was like, I gotta walk past him, but I'm drunk. She was like, all right, come on. So I knew he was about to leave. So I got up and I walked past him. I was like, I hope he not watching me walk away. And I turned around and he wasn't. So that was a little up. But I came out and he was waiting for me to come out because he didn't want to leave without getting my number. And he was like, I would love to take you on a date. I want to get to know you more outside of this element, right? Outside of this environment. And I was like, okay, cool. He hit me a week later, took me on a date, and I haven't left his side since then.
You serious?
Seriously.
So y'all just got together instantly?
Instantly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Round of applause for that. I love to see that, man.
Absolutely.
You keep it a little private a little bit?
I do. And that's for the sake of him, And then also what I learned, because I was so used to being the one putting all of my relationships in the public eye, online and things like that. What I learned is if it don't work, you gonna have to go back and explain to all these millions of people. You see what Megan just did. You know what I mean? Like, because she put him out there on Front Street. Sometimes you want to love out loud. So I don't blame her for doing that. And we all thought this was going to be something. Our girl was doing so much. She had her on a golf course, cooking for the family. They spent the holidays together, introducing, But what I learned from that is that's exactly why you don't do that,
Right.
And this is the first relationship. Now I'm married, but when he was just my boyfriend, I still wanted to protect him when we were engaged because this is something worth protecting.
Right.
Other relationships, I didn't really feel that way. So that's why I was able to put them in content and joke about them, rant and, and just put everybody in my business because I realized this is something that everybody don't need to be in.
Right.
I'm happy. I love that man so.
Women say, well, I don't spend money on men and this, that, and the third. Women make rules for you to break. Women make rules for you to break. And when you start having women do things they won't do, they say they won't do, and they start doing it for you, you for the most part know they really fuck with you. And guess what? Most guys gonna take that deal because you can deal with the most beautiful woman and she can be scurvy, disrespectful. And like I said, disrespect leads to domestic violence. Disrespect leaves you in jail. See, some guys like these mean girls or these slick talking women. And when they slick talk them on a bad day, then they don't want to deal with that. Or when a child come out the womb slick talking and there's no respect in the house. Remember that Brad in Illinois? The women, the daughter and the wife with disrespect, he sent them to the upper room. The only person he left alive was his son a few years ago. And there's some guys, respectfully, that like women like that. They like fast talking women. They like disrespectful ass women, But to the point of the video, the link in description on the Patreon, women will trick too, bro. It's a couple things that women are ashamed of on the internet. And only thing they not ashamed of telling stories about losing their children. They not ashamed of talking about like AJ Johnson from Baby Boy and from House Party 1 of getting a train ran on them in Jamaica. They not ashamed of whole stories. None of that. Horror wars. None of that. Fighting baby mama number 5 and she was number 6. And they not ashamed of B. Simone saying, I'll be baby mama number 4 or 5 as long as I'm number 1. But they're ashamed of anything they do for a man. Talking about it publicly. And, you know, Jess Hilarious basically says she tricked and flexed her money on her boyfriend. And you know, when a woman is spending money on you and willing to do stuff for you, they like you. That's their most valuable asset. Most women world, they talk about God and God. Their world revolves around money. And when she going in her purse for you, you know, and it sounded like, oh, buddy wasn't even really checking for her. Didn't even know who she was. And his homeboy's probably like, hey, that's just hilarious. He like, cool. You know, she got the bread. She got status. You know, I'm going to lock in. And if most women just show the effort in that way, they all had husbands. Most of them had husbands. I can't say they all because of the ratio. They most had husbands. That's all it takes. But you got to be the guy that they like. And there's a lot of things that can turn women off. It might be the way you drink. You drinking my green tea. You know, it might be the way you dress. You know, it might be the way you talk. But, you know, when an attraction is strong, you got room for error. Your bag ain't got to be perfect. You know, and they all got stories with bum ass niggas. Tell you that right now. They all got stories with bum ass niggas. None of them got stories with good dudes. They all got stories with bum ass. That should tell you something. So, but she spent money on them. And she from Baltimore. Most of the women, like, you start talking about Baltimore, even though technically that's the South. They get mad when I say that, but y'all below the Mason-Dixon line. You start talking about Baltimore. You start talking about, you know, Philadelphia, Jersey, the New York women, very masculine women. DC women kind of like, at least when I was in school around DC women, they had a lot of femininity. You know, they had more femininity than most of the women that I named from those areas, but she's aggressive. Jess Hilarious is very aggressive. You know, but ultimately women that's in power, what they all find out, that they want to be wives, you know, they make all that money and status, they got to pay for dick. You know, and I don't think it's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, you want to be a man. You want to be the breadwinner. You want to be the leader of the new school. You want to lead. But then again, you want the man to make more money than you. A lot of them in this fantasy world when they in their prime. But you want to lead the relationship. You want to emasculate him. Now, in some scenarios, there's women that make all the chicken. They make all the chili, and the man still lead. But that's a rare feat. That's a man that they respect. Think about Monique and the guy that she married to her husband now. That was her best friend. He was in her face the whole time. But she respected the man enough to handle his business and trust him. But that's the thing about it. A lot of these women don't wait till it's too late. And it ain't no different. A lot of us guys, we want to go out there and see what the player life is about. Most guys, you know, a lot of guys don't, in this generation, don't get to experience the player life. If they do experience the player life, they tricking. And keep it a bean, that ain't the player life if you tricking. But he was like one of them dating coaches. You know, I slept with so many women, he paid for it. I'm like, nah, nigga, you know, you paid. But you giving advice. You know? But in general, most of these women, it's inevitable that they end up paying for a guy, especially when you're not young. Most of these women end up paying for a guy, but leadership is, women want a strong leader. You know, most women want a strong leader, strong decision maker. And the thing about, like, you know, being the head of your household, you can't panic. You always got to have a plan. You always got to have a solution. You always got to figure it out, you know? And that's the wild thing about it, to be honest. You always got to figure it out. And you also got to plan for things to go bad in your head so you can already have a solution. Okay, if this happened, that happened. You always got to stay 2 steps ahead. But she paid. I ain't mad at it. She understand her position. She found the guy she really liked. Most guys don't do women dirty like that. They have a debt. And I ain't gonna say ain't gonna cheat, but they don't really do women dirty. If we know we fucked up with a woman, I leave you on this. We fucked up the relationship. We gonna make sure that woman good. Now, if that woman fuck us over, fuck her. You know, we do it for the kids if we had kids, but y'all know what it is. But hey, appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. Peace.